Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Schuyler Reacts, or if it's your first time, welcome to Schuyler Reacts. Today, we'll be reacting to a video titled Why America Are Dead Wrong About Canada. And to be honest, I don't know why Americans seem like making Canada look like some little country that we don't need or we can just easily dispose and whatnot. And most of that really came from the man in office. And it's just like he just ruined our relationship. But anyways, we're just gonna get right into the video. I'm not even going through the whole rant, but yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it.
Americans like to imagine Canada as a polite little apartment above their empire,
Mm-hmm.
quiet, harmless, and grateful for the privilege of living upstairs.
Ask a Trump voter, and they'll tell you Canada only exists because of them. That our economy rides on their coattails, our safety depends on their military, and our
Crazy.
healthcare is some socialist fantasy that they're too free to afford.
You'll hear it all. That we're
Free.
America's hat, a welfare state, a frozen outpost living off American generosity, the freeloader up north.
So today, we're setting the record straight. What Americans get wrong about Canada, and why most of it says more about them than us.
Let's
Let's get
start
it.
with the favorite talking point, universal health care. Americans think it's a horror story, endless waits, bankrupt governments, and doctors trapped in socialist purgatory.
Here's the truth. It's taxpayer funded, single payer, and it works. Canadians live on average 5 years longer than Americans. Infant
Damn.
mortality is lower, and medical bankruptcy, well, it basically doesn't exist here, yet in the United States, it's a major driver of personal bankruptcy.
Now, we do have
Damn.
wait times for elective procedures, sure, but nobody dies because they can't afford a hospital visit. That's not socialism, that's basic care that every G20 country offers its citizens except the United States.
And
Which is insane, bro. Which is insane, bro. We literally spend $1 trillion annually on our military and our defense, right? Annually. Right? And the fact is that we don't even our enemy can't even target us, bro. We're so far away from everything. Our neighbor, the closest, our neighbors are literally Mexico and Canada. Everything else is so far away, and we spend a trillion more than most country GDP annually, right? And it's insane, bro. And you mean to tell me we can't have free health? I don't mind having a wait list to get my operation done for free. I don't mind it. Rather than getting it now and spend thousands of dollars. It's like, come on, bro. Like it's crazy.
if it is a medical emergency or life threatening, you're not waiting. You're seen right away. When I had an infection
Really?
after a surgery, I was admitted the same day I went in. I got a room, an IV, antibiotics, and was put on a list for the next available operating space. The
Damn.
only people ahead of me were already booked surgeries or real emergency. Car crashes, gunshots, the stuff that should come first.
It's
Common
not
sense, yeah.
perfect, but it's fair. The system sorts by need, not by credit score, and it pays off. Longer life expectancy, safer
Mm-hmm.
streets, fewer gun deaths. Our homicide rate's roughly a third of theirs. That's not coincidence, it's policy meeting priorities.
We've chosen
Bro, 1.91 out of what is it? Out of 100,000? 100,000 people. Bro, that's an insane that's such a low rate. It's like you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning at this point. That's
Third of
insane.
theirs. That's not coincidence, it's policy meeting priorities.
We've chosen to build safety nets instead of cages. The US still builds prisons faster than schools, and a lot of those prisons are privately run for profit. The more people they lock up, the more money they make.
Incarceration as a business model. In Canada, that idea is unthinkable. Our correctional system isn't perfect, but it's public. The
Mm-hmm.
goal is rehabilitation, not shareholder returns.
When you turn punishment into profit, you stop fixing the problem and start feeding it. That's why the US imprisons 5 to 6 times more people per capita than Canada.
And that's the real difference between our systems. We don't
Mm-hmm.
treat poverty and addiction like crimes, we treat
Nah, because the thing is, the prison system makes so much money off of commissary and phone calls. They rather just keep, you know what I'm saying, bringing them back, bringing them back. It's just like I never understood, like, why would you put addicts in jail? Addicts has a problem. They need to be in rehab, not in jail, bro. Like you put them in jail, they go through the withdrawals, the this and that, and then when you let them free, They already have a criminal record. They don't have money. They don't really have anything. And you put them back in the streets to do what? To go right back on drugs. So just like there's no program to, it's just like a cycle, like a sad cycle.
Treat them like conditions that you can actually solve.
Here, fewer people are behind bars and more behind desks. That's what investing in education and social programs does. It gives
Mm-hmm.
people options before the cuffs ever come out.
And those desks matter. Canada's the most educated country on earth. More than half of adults have post secondary education. Now, Americans
What?
love to call us the little brother, but little brother actually finished his homework.
Canadians consistently report high life satisfaction, and Canada ranks among the top countries globally for happiness, including the happiest in the G7 in 2025.
Maybe it's
I mean, let's be honest. Look at the scenery in Canada, bro. Look at the trees, look at the mountains, the hills, the outdoors, the woods, bro. Like, y- how can you be mad living in Canada? Like, how can you be sad? Like, I know Canada had like their own like little issues and problems and this and that. No place is, you know, perfect. But it's like, bro, how can you be mad living in Canada?
Including the happiest in the G7 in 2025.
Maybe it's the universal health care. Maybe it's fewer bullets. Or maybe it's because no one here has to start a GoFundMe for chemotherapy. Happiness is a national resource here. We treat it like oil, something to protect and refine. And yet,
Mm-hmm.
they call us dependent. Our system costs less per person and covers everyone. Their system costs more, covers fewer, and still manages to bankrupt families. It's the
Damn.
only free market that charges a ransom for survival.
Americans love to say they're number one. But if you compare actual quality of life numbers, life expectancy, education, crime rates, healthcare access, I'm sorry, but Canada quietly keeps winning the categories that actually matter.
And we may
Insane, cause they never like you wouldn't know until you watch videos like this. You know what I'm saying? Like the propaganda that we have over here in America that makes it like, oh, America is number one, the best country in the world, this and that. They push that so hard that you become like so naive or so ignorant to like the actual facts in the other countries and what they have going on. The infrastructure, the education, the healthcare, and like all that stuff. Like you don't even think about that because we're so programmed to let's like stay in America, help America, fight for America, and America is number one, rather than explore and travel and learn. And you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
manage it without calling ourselves exceptional every 10 seconds. Although, we are doing that right now.
Hey, that's our job on YouTube. We're saying the things that other Canadians are too polite to admit.
And that's the difference. Americans confuse volume for virtue.
Canadians, we just let the math do the talking.
Whenever Americans want to flex, they point to wealth. We're the richest country in the world.
Yeah, that is technically true, but only if you measure what's in the vaults of the top 1%. The rest of America, they're still waiting for their turn at the dream.
In
Yep.
Canada, we don't have quite as many billionaires, but we also don't have as many people working 2 jobs just to afford insulin.
Canadian wealth is steadier.
True.
People live comfortably, not constantly on the edge. We've built systems that keep people from falling all the way down, and we have programs that help them when they do.
It's
I
not
like that.
charity, it's smart economics. When you keep citizens healthy, housed, and educated, they actually contribute more.
And you can see it in the
Facts, bro. Facts, bro. Imagine if we didn't had like so many addicts out in the streets and they were actually like healthy and their mental is all there and they're in the work field, bro. You know how that would change America? You know how much talented people is like hooked on drugs right now? All it takes is one person to change the world. Who know that one person that's an addict could have invent something that could have cleaned the ocean within a year, or that person could have create a cure for like 100 different disease. Like, you never know. Like, you feel me? So the happier, the healthier the citizens in, the more the country thrives. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense.
data, our middle class is stronger, And income mobility, meaning the chance to move up in life, is higher in Canada than the USA.
Down south, the word social sends people into a panic. Social safety nets, social housing, social programs. They hear social and think marks. Here, social just means society, as in, we all live in one.
And it shows. Canadians don't have to be millionaires to live well. A teacher can buy a house in a small town. A nurse can raise a family. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
That's not utopia. That's proper planning.
Yeah, Statistics Canada data shows the median wage for secondary school teachers is around $78,000. Salary grids in provinces like Ontario and BC show top-end salaries for experienced teachers with extra qualifications climbing well over $100,000 in
Damn.
2024.
The median wage for a registered nurse in Canada is around $80,000. With seniority, overtime, and night and weekend premiums, it's very common for full-time hospital-based RNs to earn over $100K a year.
No wonder the education, they're like on top of the education. The teachers are getting paid what they should be getting paid. The teachers aren't stressed. The teacher is not coming to work mad and taking it out on the kids. The teacher is not like, you know what I'm saying, worrying about bills and then coming to work and then not really caring that much because they're not getting paid as much. And they're just like, you know, you take care of the teachers, the student's gonna be okay, bro. They gotta get the education they need. The teacher gonna put more effort because they're getting paid as it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that explains a whole lot, bro. Like,
Here,
damn.
those careers are respected. You can build a life on them, not just survive. They're not living in mansions, but they're living comfortably. Two of my nieces are teachers, and my sister-in-law is a nurse, and they all
Ooh,
have pretty sweet houses that they own. Here,
nice.
you don't have to work yourself into the ground to have a middle-class life. That's the whole point.
And somehow, life feels more balanced. People can take vacations, they can retire, and we can still afford groceries.
Americans love to call us soft for that, but I'll take soft over bankrupt any day.
Facts.
Real wealth
Mm-hmm.
isn't about how much gold you hoard. It's about how many people get to live decently.
And that's the real difference between our systems. We don't treat poverty and addiction like crimes. We treat them like conditions that you can actually solve.
Which is
Thank
why
you.
Canadians don't panic when they see a social program. They've seen what it does. It keeps people stable, productive, and off the edge.
And it
Mm-hmm.
pays off, not just at home, but globally.
Yeah, globally, we're not America's hat. We're the invite that actually gets accepted. Publications like CN Travel and Forbes consistently rank Canada as one of the top 10 countries
Nice.
to visit.
Peace and stability matter to investors and families. Canada ranks way higher for peacefulness and sits top tier for rule of law.
Bro, America not even on this list, bro. America not
Canada
even on
ranks
this
way
list.
higher for peacefulness and sits top tier for rule of law. That's why companies place teams here. The United States, it's ranked 132nd.
And since everybody asks about business, the EIU has Canada at number 2 in the G20 for doing business through 2029.
Damn.
How's that for the deadbeat upstairs, Donald?
When Americans talk about freedom,
I love their personalities and how they are, bro. The back and forth, bro. I love it. And I love like the little subtle jabs. I love it.
they mean the right to own a gun. When Canadians talk about freedom, we mean the right to see a doctor without going broke.
And that's really the difference. For
Mhm.
us, freedom isn't noise, it's stability. It's not worrying about losing your house if you get sick. It's not fearing your kid's school could be the next headline.
And that quiet sense of safety adds up. Canadians aren't happier because we're wealthier. We're happier because the floor isn't constantly falling out from underneath us.
Peace
That
of
doesn't
mind.
mean we're perfect. We've got housing issues, inflation, and plenty of political nonsense as well. But there's a baseline of trust in our institutions, our communities, and each other. There's power in that understatement, right? Happiness isn't just about smiles, it's about calm. And Canada feels calm.
That's why people want to live here, study here, and raise their kids here. Not
Mhm.
because people love our cold winters. Nobody moves here for the joy of scraping ice off a windshield in April, but
It's all about the peace of mind.
they do come for what works.
Safety, education, healthcare, and a little peace and quiet.
Canada
Mm-hmm.
didn't just accept multiculturalism, we legislated it. It's literally national policy. You can walk
Oh,
down a Toronto street and hear 10 language before breakfast and no one's threatened by it.
That's
nice.
strength, not sameness, but cooperation. It's what happens when diversity isn't a slogan, it's the operating system.
It's also why our politics don't feel like a cage match. They argue, sure, but they still believe in government as a tool, not as a threat.
Democracy's supposed to be noisy, not violent. Debate is healthy, division isn't. Canada still gets that balance right most of the time.
There's this persistent myth
Most
that
of the
Canada
time.
lives off US handouts, that we're basically a dependent state that couldn't survive without them.
Yeah, like they're the sugar daddy of the North American economy. Reality check. Canada's not living off of America. America's living off Canada's exports.
It's
Mm-hmm.
true, we're the largest trading partner for more than 30 US states. That's not China or Mexico, it's Canada.
Facts. I didn't even know like there's pipes running through America leading from Canada all the way to Mexico. I didn't even know that. Like I'm like, what? There's pipes running all the way through all these states, all the way through Canada down to Mexico. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know that.
When an American builds a car, drives over a bridge, or turns on a light, there's a good chance something Canadian made it possible.
Energy, lumber, aluminum,
Mm-hmm.
fertilizer, vehicles, critical minerals. That deadbeat upstairs is literally powering their grid, feeding their farms, and building their infrastructure with
Facts.
Canadian power.
And it's not out of charity, it's out of contracts. Fair trade. Even during Trump's tariff war, Canadian exports held steady because the US can't afford to cut us.
That's the part the
Facts.
MAGA crowd doesn't get. Their economy isn't a fortress, it's a web, and we're woven through every single strand.
Mm-hmm.
They call us soft, but when Trump tried his little pay up or else tariff stunt, Canadians organized and fought back with their wallets. We talk about all of that in yesterday's video, and you can check out the links below for more.
And I love the fact like how even with all his threats and whatnot, they still didn't even attack the citizens, like attack us. They still like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? They only attack him. And that's what I love. Like they didn't blame it or they didn't, come after the US citizens and whatnot. They just stay after the man in charge. I like that.
Every time Washington lectures us about freeloading, they forget that their country literally depends on Canadian supply chains.
Mm-hmm.
Energy, steel, grain, rare earth minerals, even fresh water.
If Canada shut the taps, figuratively or literally, the US economy would stall within weeks. And deep
Facts.
down, they know it. And that's why they get so defensive.
Yep, projection's a hell of a coping mechanism, isn't it? Listen, we're not anti-American. We just refuse to play the sidekick anymore.
Because the truth is, Canada isn't just surviving above America, we're quietly thriving in spite of it.
And maybe that's what really drives Americans crazy. We built a country next door that works, quietly, consistently, without needing a parade every week to prove it.
It's just the envy. It just envy. It's like the person hidden outside of the club because you can't get in. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to go to this club, whatnot. You showed up and you're not in dress code, and you're just outside looking at everyone inside having fun, and you're just like jealous. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like.
We figured out how to live together without needing to erase each other first.
We chose peace over conquest, healthcare over hero worship, and neighbors over enemies. And it turns out that's a solid business plan for a country.
Canada's biggest revolution wasn't deciding we don't need one. We just kept improving what we already had, slowly, stubbornly, and without all the fireworks.
And that's Canada. Calm on the surface, smart underneath, and absolutely allergic to authoritarian drama.
So if anyone asks what Americans get wrong about Canada, tell them this. We like you, but we don't want to be you. We want to be us. We like you, but we don't want to be you. We want to
Respectfully
be
so.
us.
And we're doing just fine.
Hey, if you made it this far, you're officially part of the A-Team. We're building a community of Canadians and honorary ones who care about facts, democracy.
All right, I think that's it for this video. Hey, listen, right? There's a lot of stuff I didn't know, but I just love how Canada is, man. That's like how everything sound I've never been to Canada, but after hearing all this, it makes me want to visit even more. And I don't know, it's if I also ever moved to a different country, Canada might be, top priority because it's just like right there. You don't have to like go over the pond and expensive ass flight. You could literally just drive. But it's like, yeah, Canada, I don't know. I got my eyes on y'all. But anyway, that's it for this reaction. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, join the fam, and I'll see y'all for the next one.